about to happen on June 12th that has never happened in the history of human civilization. A private company, one that controls military satellites, global internet, and the future of space travel, is about to open its doors to the public for the very first time. And most people have no idea what they're walking into. My name is Awevault, and today we're going inside the most consequential financial event of our lifetime, SpaceX. Founded in 2002 by Elon Musk with one goal: make humanity a multiplanetary species. For 24 years, this company stayed private, hidden from public markets, controlled entirely by Musk and a small circle of investors. But on June 12, 2026, that changes forever. SpaceX has filed with the SEC. The price is set, $130 per share. The valuation, $177 trillion. The fundraise, $75 billion in a single day. To put that in perspective, that is more money raised in one IPO than the entire GDP of most countries on Earth. This is not a tech startup going public. This is a superpower selling shares. Now here's the question nobody is asking. Why 135? SpaceX had options. They could have priced this at $100. Clean, simple, easy to market. They could have priced it at $150. Aggressive, high conviction. They chose 135s. And that number is not random. $135 per share across 555.6 million shares equals exactly $75 billion raised. That $75 billion figure has been the internal target since the roadshow began. Every number was engineered backwards from that goal. But there's something else. At 135, SpaceX's valuation sits at $1.77 trillion, positioning it as the 7th largest company in America, above Tesla, above Saudi Aramco. That placement is deliberate. This is a statement, not just an IPO. 3 days before this IPO went public, something extraordinary happened. The United States Space Force handed SpaceX a $4.16 billion military contract. $4.16 billion for satellites that track every military threat on Earth from space. Now ask yourself, why now? Why 3 days before the biggest IPO in history? Because that contract does something no marketing campaign could ever do. It tells every institutional investor on Wall Street one thing: the United States government has already decided SpaceX is too important to fail. When the US military is your customer, your valuation isn't speculative anymore, it's guaranteed. Let's talk about what you're actually buying a piece of. Starlink, the largest satellite internet network ever built, over 7,000 satellites in orbit providing internet to 120 countries, with direct-to-cell capability launching in 2026, meaning soon every phone on Earth connects through SpaceX infrastructure whether you know it or not. Falcon 9, the most reliable rocket ever built, over 400 successful launches. SpaceX now handles more than 60% of all orbital launches worldwide, more than Russia, China, and the European Space Agency combined. Starship, the most powerful rocket ever constructed, designed for the moon, designed for Mars, currently under contract with NASA for the next lunar landing. And Dragon, the only private spacecraft certified to carry humans to the International Space Station. This is not one company, this is an empire. Here's the part the financial media won't tell you clearly. When SpaceX goes public on June 12th, the first people to profit are not retail investors. They are the institutional funds, the sovereign wealth funds, and the venture capital firms who have held private shares for years. They are selling into your excitement. That doesn't mean ordinary investors can't profit. It means you need to understand what you're walking into. Elon Musk has structured this IPO unusually. He has reportedly reserved up to 30% of shares for retail investors, regular people. That is 3 to 6 times more than a typical major IPO allocates. That is either extraordinarily generous or it is extraordinarily strategic. Now, the question everyone is asking, should you buy SpaceX shares on June 12th? I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. But here is what history tells us. Amazon IPO'd in 1997 at $18 a share. People called it overvalued. Today it trades above $200 after multiple stock splits. Tesla IPO'd in 2010 at $17 a share. People called Musk a fraud. Today Tesla is worth over $1.6 trillion. Palantir IPO'd in 2020 at $10 a share. Analysts laughed. Today it trades near $150. The companies that own critical infrastructure governments depend on, tend to hold their value. SpaceX controls the satellites, the rockets, the military contracts, the internet backbone. The question isn't whether SpaceX is worth $1.77 trillion today. The question is what it's worth in 10 years. On June 12th, something changes. A company that was once a dream in one man's mind becomes part of the global stock market, available to anyone, anywhere. Whether you buy or not, understand what this moment means. The commercialization of space just became official, and the world will never look the same. If you want to follow every development as this IPO unfolds, follow Awevault. We cover the stories that actually matter. I'll see you on the other side of June 12th.